baptize everyone.
But I'm already baptized. So.
But you haven't been baptized in the everlasting covenant of the priesthood.
Can you, can one of you clap 3 times in a row? Just one of you.
So we got to do it at the same time.
No, one. Perfect. That's good.
You're like, that completely defeats the purpose.
Guys, welcome to Mission Stories.
Woohoo!
Welcome to Mission Stories. My name is Troy. Lyndon is here as well.
In the flesh.
In the flosh. I was worried just for a second there that I had said a bad word, but flosh is nothing.
Do you know what that means in German?
I do not.
Well, we're not going to explain that on this podcast.
All right. Maybe next episode. We have a guest with us here today. Her name, because it is a woman, because we are a forward progressive podcast. We're not a male-only podcast, Lyndon.
Equal opportunities.
Not like you keep saying we are. Off mic.
What?
Never mind. Taylor Evans is here today, and Taylor, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm going to ask you not to fiddle with the mic hand.
I'm sorry.
You got to get your face right in there,
And
but don't touch it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Listen, guys, the lighting looks good on me.
But what about on us?
Not as great on you
Okay,
guys.
well.
Whatevs.
Do I look like a shadow monster over here?
No, you guys look fine. But you know what I figured? Start from where you are, and this is where we are, and I'm sure it'll get better.
Lift where you stand.
Yeah. Yeah. We're also the hat crew. Lyndon, you
Yeah.
mentioned this when Taylor walked in. We're all wearing hats.
Hat it up.
It's true.
We
Didn't plan it.
No, we didn't.
It just happens.
We did.
You guys did?
Me and Lyndon. No, we didn't.
No.
You know, I thought about not wearing this hat. Then I was like, no, I'm going to wear it. What have you got on your hat? You got the Blue Jays?
Yep.
Represent T-Dot? Is that the way?
They
What?
call it the 6 now.
What's
the
that
6.
Mean? What do you mean?
That's Toronto.
The 6.
Not the T-Dot. That's
Okay.
like 2000s.
That's 2000. I'm going to move this. Just so I can see the thing. So, and then what have you got on your hat?
This is... Oh, we talked about this hat in a very early episode.
Right, because
It's my cultural genocide hat.
Right.
It's a Vancouver Grizzlies hat.
And it's a shameful hat.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't wear it, but you do.
It depicts Haida Gwaii art,
Uh-huh.
but I am not of that lineage.
I heard someone say Haida-Gwaii, and it really bugged me.
I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
I don't think it is either. It sounds bad.
I think I'm closer
I think you are
to
too.
the reality.
I'm prone to agree with you, though, so I might be biased.
Better get this on film.
Get it on film. Haida-Gwaii.
Haida Gwaii.
That's a T-shirt now. The further, appropriation of that culture for our gain.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, what's up?
You know, just living life, loving being home, I guess.
Loving being home.
Living, laughing, loving.
Live, laugh,
Live,
learn.
laugh, breathe.
Did you ever
love.
see that book, Eat, Pray, Love?
I did. I haven't read it. I
you
watched
ever
half
see
of the
that
movie.
Have you? Would you say your mission was kind of like that?
Lots of eating,
praying,
lots
and
of
loving.
praying, and yeah. Oh my gosh! Wow,
Isn't this crazy?
that was amazing.
My mission was a lot of
Yeah,
eating too.
A lot of eating.
More than loving, I would say. I did a lot of hating on my mission.
Oh,
Really?
No.
I changed my opinion. on that.
No.
I never prayed on my mission, actually.
Not once. Not a single prayer to God. No, but there was a lot of eating. I ate a lot of Chick-fil-A. Have you ever been to Chick-fil-A?
yeah. It's very average, like very overrated.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Same. Okay,
All
wait.
right.
What
Let
a
me
hot
explain.
take
You
right
know
off
that-
the bat.
You know that gif of that guy, and he's like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh, yeah.
For our listeners, you won't know what it's the guy who's like kind of shaking his head and closing his eyes. That's how I feel about your opinion about
Okay,
Chick-fil-A.
no, this is the thing. So on my mission, all the Americans were always talking about Chick-fil-A, how it's like the best thing ever.
Uh-huh.
So I get home,
Yeah.
I try Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
and it's just chicken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't get all the hype.
You know, you have a point.
It's chicken.
You do have a point. It's something that grows on you, I think.
I think it's the experience, you know, like the people.
Yeah, the people are very nice
Yeah,
there.
and the sauces.
The sauces are very good. But here's the thing. It's like it's easy to learn, hard to master. It's one of those things. Cuz it is just chicken on a piece of bread. But also, it can be anything you want it to be. And that's the beauty of it, I say.
Here's the real hack is you just learn to make Chick-fil-A sauce yourself and you just get chicken McNuggets in Canada.
There you go.
Okay.
There's actually Chick-fil-A in Calgary now, but
Yeah, it's at the airport.
I heard it's like not as good.
It's not the same. I hate when people are like, you can just make that at home.
Well, no, here's what I'm saying.
No.
You don't even make it at home. You combine McDonald's sauces.
Uh-huh.
Here's a big secret for everyone. Chick-fil-A sauce is exactly this. Equal parts, honey mustard, ranch, and barbecue sauce.
I resent that. I resent you.
They literally
saying
mix their 3 sauces together to make Chick-fil-A sauce.
The world's
So you-
biggest secret. It's out.
Okay,
So
well,
you
you
can-
can just leave.
So
Liz.
if you go to McDonald's, I'm just saying, get their hot mustard dipping sauce and their barbecue sauce, and hopefully you have some ranch at home. Mix that up.
And
You
there
got Chick-fil-A at home, baby.
Better chicken, better sauce.
To
you
Truett
go.
Kathy, I apologize. I was served in Georgia, as we all know, and
Is that the home of Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
the guy who invented Chick-fil-A.
I thought he was from like North Carolina.
He's from Georgia, and now this may have been like an urban legend that other missionaries just told me, and I actually don't remember if his name is Kathy Truett or Truett Kathy, or it's something like that. Something
Kathy's
weird,
in it though.
Yeah. S. Truett Kathy or something like that. His farm, his acres of land was in my mission. We would drive past it to go to, what's it called? Zone conference sometimes. Or it was just someone's farm and someone was lying to me. One of those two.
It was gated, right?
Oh, yeah. And it had the nicest white picket fence you've ever seen.
That doesn't sound that secure.
It wasn't at all. You could have gone. I don't think it was where they did. I don't think they farmed chickens there. It was just land. So, but Americans are quite interested in the security of their land, building walls, that sort of thing. So I can see where you're coming from with that line of questioning.
It's got to have a big fence and a gate.
Big fence, big gate. You served a mission, Taylor.
Yes,
You
I did.
yeah. Or did you? You're
I
like-
think so.
Who, me?
Oh, she like looks at me. I'm like, I think it's been established on this podcast that I've served a mission.
Your credentials are well known. And
Well documented.
Well documented. Yours, however, are not.
Okay.
Well,
that's
maybe
why
we
I'm
should
here.
address that they are slightly documented. We have to say this.
And you just pull the thing. just-
Okay.
oh, yeah, there you go. Better. Okay.
Is many people might have noticed our trend of guests
Yeah.
come from one certain Ching's
Mhm.
little Facebook page.
And we refuse to shout him out.
But in our defense, we had spoken to you about being on the
It's true.
podcast
We
Like,
did.
well before.
Right when I got
Yeah.
home.
So in fact, he
He
is poaching
stole
our guests.
Our idea that we didn't tell anyone about, and then he did it, and then we were like, guess what? We were gonna do it.
Subsequently,
Yeah. It's a coincidence, but we plan on having you at this time since the beginning.
Yeah, so, well, I'll give you guys more details, more stories.
Yeah.
The inside scoop.
Yeah. Yes. More than you ever could have or would have on his.
I should have brought my journal. Dang
on
it.
his silly picture
Okay,
thing.
just as a disclaimer.
Here's my journal.
Oh my.
Do you want to read it?
Okay.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Okay.
Just as a disclaimer, I did not say that I was sexually harassed, even though it says on that thing. I didn't even realize that I was being like,
Wait, did you not write that?
no, I didn't.
You didn't write any of that?
Well, like the other parts.
How does that work? Can
So
you
he
walk
just
us through that?
okay, yeah. So he asked me questions. I talked about it. He recorded it, and then later he wrote it up.
Oh, he puts
And
his
so-
own spin on it.
Oh.
Well, okay.
He
Here's the
writes
thing.
it as
so I
if
was
it's
like talking
their
about
voice.
it. Okay.
He
I was
says-
talking about
Are we
it.
deconstructing
Guys,
his?
do you want me to explain or not?
Sorry, yeah, we have this habit of interrupting guests. Excuse us.
I've noticed. Anyways, so I was talking about it, and he was like, "You were sexually harassed," and I was like, "Was I?" And he was like, "Yeah, you were," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Can I talk about it?" And I was like, "Sure." And then the first thing he wrote, "I was sexually harassed," and I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, we should call this. I mean, we should call our episode "I Was Sexually Harassed."
Oh my-
Because you did actually say that. We do have you on mic saying that. So
We can actually just cut to a little. We can cut to a clip right now.
we can clip you saying "I was sexually harassed." But we could, but we won't do that.
Thank you.
Because we have journalistic integrity. We're not journalists, though. Unless you are, I'm not. Are you a journalist?
Let me think about that.
Okay, we'll get back
No.
to that. Oh,
We went into this discussion from episode 1.
yeah, that's true.
Because
yeah.
a lot of after episode 1, a lot of people got on to us
Like,
about
"You
journalistic integrity.
motherfuckers."
Wait,
Yeah.
people actually like listen to these?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many?
Maybe
Thousands.
100 people will listen.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? That seems weird. That seems high to me, actually.
I don't know.
Well, don't you want it to be high?
I do, but it's just strange. Should we update everybody? We're almost at, and this might feel like a low number actually, but we're almost at 4,000 listens total. So that's kind of cool. You're just disinterested in this now. You're just on your phone, Taylor.
Are you still just unfriending all these dudes on Instagram? Or
No.
Is that like a full-time job for you?
No.
Just
This guy from
unfriending?
my mission just texted me. He's like, "What's this girl's name? Like the sister's first name?" So
Yeah.
I told him.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna message her." And I'm like, "Nice, go for it."
Okay. You're providing encouragement. Okay. Well, we'll just wait here while you do that. I guess I'll just talk to Lyndon.
4,000 listens.
4,000 listens almost. Yeah, 49 something. We've been doing this. How long have we been doing this?
I feel like we started in April.
April, yeah. Well, we're
Is this-
going to keep doing it.
Have we got to a full
A full
gestation period?
52, no. Well, you know what?
Wait, 52 what? Where were you going with
Episodes, weeks, I don't know.
52 weeks is a year.
episodes, right, yeah.
that? The gestation
30
period of a
something.
horse, I think.
Is a year?
Is about that.
Yeah.
Jamie,
know?
Jamie looked that up.
Jamie, yeah. Do you know the gestation period of a horse? Taylor?
Not off the top of my head.
It's probably 11 months.
Too bad. Well, let's continue where we were going. That's so interesting. So Ching and his thing. I love it. We're just like,
Right. We didn't finish that.
no, we did not. So how did you feel about that? I don't know, sort of clickbaity title or.
Well, I was like, I didn't really care until people started to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "So I saw your article on Facebook and all I read was I was sexually harassed." And then I read it and it wasn't even that intense. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, guys, that wasn't me."
Oh.
But it was me, but it's not my words.
Can we just jump to that story? What was the thing where you told the story to Ching and he was like, "You were sexually harassed"?
Well, I was just talking about how in Chile, and I'm sure this happens to everyone on their missions, people will just catcall you all the time and they'll try
Happened
to hit
to
on
me
you.
and Lyndon all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
At least once.
But yeah, that's basically it. People would be driving in their cars and scream stuff at us, or
What would they
walking in.
Oh, I guess I don't know if I should ask you to repeat what they screamed,
Well,
or should I? That could be the title of the episode. Just kidding.
Vulgar things, I
yeah,
assume.
exactly. And
Lewd.
Lewd.
yeah, they'd say stuff in English, but really dirty things.
Ooh, okay.
But I don't think they knew what it meant. And they'd tell us that they wanted to marry us, that they wanted us to have their kids and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then when they found out that I was from Canada, they'd always try to get me to take them home with me.
Okay, yeah, marry them.
Yeah, or just bring them home. I
Did you ever
guess.
think that maybe it wasn't about your looks, but it was about how they just
Canada?
wanted to come to Canada?
Yeah, I'm sure. A lot of them. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's very humble of you.
it's a good country. So
For sure, yeah. It is a good country. We talked a lot about Canada our last episode.
We did.
We won't talk about it this episode, though. So how did you feel when people catcall you? Because this can be our Me Too episode or something.
oh my goodness.
Because I've sort of, I've lived, when I think about male white privilege, I guess just male privilege, we can just limit it to that. But I don't have to.
Which is a myth, but we can talk about it.
Okay. Stephen Crowder over here. I think that the fact of not having to deal with catcalls is the purview of men exclusively. It's just being a woman and a pretty woman is something that like you just have to deal with that I just don't. And I just hadn't considered that for like my whole life up until I'd heard sort of some stories of people and this story. And I don't know, has that been your life up to this point?
Well, it doesn't happen so much here in Canada, but in Chile, I just kind of got used to it. So it didn't bug me or anything. Like,
Yeah.
it was a daily basis kind of thing. So
You just sort of become numb to it.
yeah, and you kind of just laugh at it. And even when it happens here now, I'm just like, whatever.
So it doesn't bother you.
No, which is kind of bad, but
Is it bad?
well, like,
What's
kind of
bad? What's good? I don't know.
like, should I be okay with this? I don't know, but it's not like I could do anything. Like if they're driving in their car and they just shout something, like, what can I do? Throw a rock? I don't know.
You could throw a rock.
Perhaps the only thing you can control is your reaction to it.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, well,
Yeah.
like, what am I supposed to do? So
That's fair.
Probably not marry them and have their kids.
I mean, don't
That-
marry
yeah.
them.
yeah.
How close did you get to marrying one?
None of them.
None of them.
Absolutely
Not
none.
a one.
No.
There wasn't one where you're like, oh, and you do a double take and be
No,
like,
I never
maybe.
got. I never got jungle fever.
Oh, that's so funny. That phrase has been brought up on this podcast yet until now.
You're welcome.
Um,
I bring some spice.
That's what they call it down there?
Jungle fever?
Is there a jungle there?
No, it was all desert.
desert
But-
fever.
I guess you could call it like missionary goggles. I didn't have those.
Right. So like people that are less attractive, you think are more attractive because you're on a mission.
Yeah, exactly.
And you haven't touched a woman in years.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
isn't that
Or
funny?
like a guy, like
By the end of your 2-year mission, Lyndon,
Yeah.
presumably, you hadn't touched a woman.
Or in like the 19 years before that.
Swing, home run. Nice.
So a par for the course.
Par for the
You, however, had a very intimate moment with a 60-year-old woman.
I did. Yeah,
wait,
that's
what?
right. I had several. I feel like baptizing someone's kind of an intimate thing.
That's true.
You're holding them.
But I never did that. So
Right. You didn't.
I mean, you just got tucked into bed by women.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, there was like 2 things. So here's the 2 things. I got tucked into bed by like an old lady because I was really sick at their house. And I was like, I can't do this. I just have to sleep. Let me sleep. And she's like, come with me. So I follow her up to her bedroom by herself. And then she tucks me into her bed. And then I assume the lesson goes well. Don't know anything past that. The second story is that someone had an itchy back. And we're like, hey, blah, blah, blah. We're missionaries. Do you want to learn about the gospel? She's like, I got an itch on my back. She turns around. No invitation really other than like a motion to the back. And me and my companion are just standing there for like a second. And then I'm just like, and I just scratch her back.
One finger,
Yeah.
not a whole hand.
I figure that's appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give
It was-
like a full back massage. No.
One hand, you probably crossed the line.
Yeah.
2 hands, you're going home. 1 finger, you're just being like courteous.
You're
Yeah.
being a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my interactions. But I assume I assume that it was a similar sort of situation with you on your mission. Limited contact with
yeah.
Ray, yeah. Lyndon, do you have any like stories? I sense you had a story.
I do
A
have.
cat call story.
It was my Me Too moment.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
It was my first transfer,
Yeah.
and so I'm just a brand new missionary,
Yeah.
and we get this investigator. Her name is Lucky.
Uh-huh.
She's an art student, and she lives with a disenfranchised member of the church, someone who went to like BYU, Idaho, and then her like fiance cheated on her, so she left BYU, Idaho, and left the church, and now lived with this wild lesbian art student named Lucky.
Lucky you.
Yeah. And so we're like, here we go. And then she comes to us. She's just like, listen, I'm addicted to sniffing gasoline.
Ooh.
I'm addicted to pornography.
Okay.
And she just listed like all these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like a brand new missionary, so I just assume like this is just how every investigator is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, and I'm not straight. and I take pictures of nude women for a living.
And you're like, bye-bye.
And I'm just like, okay, these are just the standard obstacles when it comes to baptizing someone in the church.
Yeah.
But then my trainer is just like, this is going to be impossible. We should probably abandon this. But then we're like,
oh, no.
But his plan was that by teaching her, we bring the roommate back into the fold. Oh, and maybe we don't go 2 for 2, but we go 1 for 2.
Not bad.
And I am just brand new Lyndon. I'm like, this is fine, whatever. But then it turns out both those girls had quite the attraction for me, which I was oblivious to at that time.
Oh, my.
And so they would like call us sometimes at like 4 a.m, leave messages on our phone.
And you're like, I'm sleeping. And
Well, I mean, we left like the cell phone in like a different room. We would just wake up to voicemails.
Right.
And then like
Then chuckle and go about your day.
And I'm just like, is this normal? And my companion's just like, no.
And he's all jealous of you.
Yeah, it's strange. And so like we're in the middle of a lesson. This is the famous lesson where she talks about Joseph Smith and his gold plate toting pants.
Okay.
And she's like, I think she's high or drunk.
Yeah.
And she's like drawing pictures of Joseph Smith's pants that could carry 70-pound plates.
Right.
And she's just like, I think it could be possible if he had these pants. And she's like drawing it on the whiteboard at the Mesa Institute.
Okay.
And then she's just like, she's looking at me and she's looking at our investigator or our companion, not the investigator, the
member present.
The member present.
Yeah.
And she's like, look at you guys, just beautiful, blue-eyed, blonde hair. She's like, is that what the countenance of Christ is? Blonde hair and blue eyes. She's like, you're so beautiful.
Aww.
And I'm just like, what is happening? And then she like, her roommate's there. She's like, look at her. She wants you. And this was like the first time in my life that I did ever like acknowledge that, you know, a female was ever like attracted to me.
Oh my.
It was like the first time it ever registered. And I'm like, what? Why? Huh? And I'm like a missionary. And then
so confused.
Then my companion is just like, we have to drop them. So I'm like, okay, for the best. And then a few weeks later, when I have my new companion, my breaker, he's like, maybe we should go visit them. And I'm like, oh, I don't think so. But we do anyway. And he realizes you were right to drop them.
Yeah.
And then like a few days later, we're like sitting at a crosswalk trying to cross the street on our bikes.
Yeah.
And Lucky is like in a car across the street with her like DSLR camera taking pictures of us.
No.
And then when we like see her and we're like, what the heck?
What?
They just like peel away.
No. Yo, those pictures are on the internet now, boy.
Yeah. So
missiontees.com or something. And it's just a big picture of you. Just blue eyes, blonde hair. The countenance of Christ. That's the caption.
Yeah.
Wow. So in
that
her
was
mind,
Lucky.
Jesus looks just like you.
So I think yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she was my first ever new investigator.
Okay. Interesting.
And it is interesting. I would never consider it sexual harassment, probably because I'm a man.
Yeah.
And I never felt threatened until she was taking pictures of us from a distance in public.
But it like happens. Like the elders in my mission, they'd get catcalls as well, and the girls would always try to kiss them.
Oh, I bet more elders like let that happen though. Was there like, did you ever hear stories of like elders on your mission?
I heard that there was
getting
this
the
one
smooch?
elder before I got there, and he was like bragging to some other elder about how he like kissed 4 girls and they all got baptized because of it. And the sisters overheard him, and then they went to the mission president, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Snitches.
Snitches get stitches. Snitches don't get baptisms. That's what I say. That's so crazy. Do you think it's true?
yeah, I could see it.
Cut to you on your mission, kissing all the people you baptized.
Is there a cultural thing in Chile where they're
Like a cheek kiss? Or
Yeah, there's cheek kissing, so that's why like sometimes the elders get kissed by accident.
Oops. How
But-
close? I'm trying to. Okay, never mind. I don't know if I ever told this story on the podcast, but I had this one companion who everyone was very, I think I did, or maybe I've sort of touched on that he was like a good looking guy who was like tall, he was muscular, and he's from California, and so people, women seemed to like him, he was the handsomer of the two of us. And I was like, I'm the little weasel guy. Not that I was a little weasel guy, but compared to him, I was. And we went to this house, and this guy opened the door, and he was sort of like obviously gay. He just sort of in like his mannerisms and everything. And he was just like, and he was flamboyant anyway. And then out of nowhere, my companion's like sort of, he's sharing the message or whatever, doing his intro, and then the guy just like he just like smiles and then like licks his teeth at him. He's like, and
don't like that.
My companion sort of stops in his tracks, and he's like, anyway, here's a card, gotta go by. And we're walking away, and all I could think was like, why didn't he do that to me?
Classic Troy.
What did I do
Jealous,
wrong?
so jealous.
Where's my teeth lick? My companion was kind of like, he was like, oh, what just happened? So that was his Me Too moment. And I wish I had that Me Too moment. I was like, me too, me
Almost
too.
Me Too moment.
Yeah. Okay, so you, did you always want to serve a mission?
No, not at all.
When did that sort of come about?
Let me think. When I was like 18-ish. So I went my whole life not wanting to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started university, I started to have those like thoughts come into my head all the time.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to pray about it because I didn't want to know the answer.
Yeah.
But eventually I decided that I needed to actually find out if I should go or not. And I received my answer that yes, I had to go. I cried a lot because like it wasn't something I planned on.
Yeah.
But then the more I prepared for it, the more I became excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went.
What did it feel like to that prayer process and getting your answer? What was that like? What did that feel like? How did you know it was a yes?
I think I always knew the answer. That's why I didn't want to pray.
Yeah.
But I just remember when I got the answer, it was like a big kind of like weight lifted off my shoulders.
Right.
It was just like, I didn't hear a voice or anything, but it was just like, okay.
You just felt
Like,
like
I
you
know.
should go.
Yeah, like 100%. I was like, I know that I have to go.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, Troy, did you have to pray about going on a mission?
I was sort of just always going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's different for guys in some way.
I did have to make the decision though, because I remember like leading up to it, I was like, wait, hold on, what am I doing? Because it's all fun and games when you're like 10, 11, 12, and it's like
singing that primary song.
Yeah, that's in the future. I'm living off the credit of the mission I'm going to one day serve with my parents. They love that I'm going to serve a mission. And then like it came closer to it, and I'm like, what's all this? So I did have to sort of be like, kind of make the decision to go. It's kind of like anyone who's like in the church from day one, and they're like have to consider what they're in and decide if they want to actually continue to do it.
But is that hard for like guys, because there is that expectation in the church that you guys go on your mission?
It wasn't too hard for me. My dad was good. He's a good like storyteller, so he would tell me all his mission stories, and he made it seem like a fun, cool thing. And I was like, also, it was like this rite of passage, it's something, a lot of it for me was the rite of passage thing, where I was like, I can't not do it. You know what I mean? What about for you, Lyndon? I guess, no, because you were like the first Nagless.
I was the first Elder Nagless.
Yeah.
So it was still like the same kind of rite of passage. It's just like you graduate high school.
Yeah.
Then you got to go on a mission. And then you graduate. It's just like, it was like one of the steps. So it is like a rite.
But it wasn't like
But I had no idea what missionary work was, what like a day in the life entailed.
no, neither did I.
I mean, I
It's
had
good.
I had a brother-in-law.
Yeah, it's better that you don't know.
It's better that you're sold into it and then you are like, oh,
Yeah.
this is awful. Not
Yeah.
awful, but very difficult.
The only thing my brother-in-law would say is he's like, was it the best 2 years of my life? No. But was it the best 2 years for me?
Classic.
I think so. And I was like, okay.
See you in 2 years. What was your experience in which MTC did you go to?
Mexico.
Mexico. And was Spanish the language that you learned, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned Spanish, obviously, but in Mexico, there's so many Americans
Mm-hmm.
that we just spoke English the whole time.
Right.
So I didn't learn anything in Mexico. I just ate good food, I guess.
Was it Mexican food?
Yeah.
What?
night.
Yeah. But the
There's
problem
not
is...
American night or whatever?
No, there was. So we'd have like on Tuesdays pizza night, or we'd have
Mhm.
like pasta or chicken or whatever. But every
Yeah.
lunch we'd have like tacos, like some kind of meat with fresh corn tortillas.
Yeah.
But sometimes the meat was like mystery meat, and you'd
Ooh.
find like other parts of animals in it.
Okay.
What do you
And
mean
so,
other parts?
Like,
Hooves? Eyeballs?
like stomach.
Horse nipples.
Yeah.
No.
Like just weird stuff. But but it was good, I guess.
Just weird stuff.
Just weird stuff. Like
Hold
you,
on. Let's get to the bottom of this. Weird. So stomach, you said?
Yeah, like
A little
you'd
tripe,
have, like,
little menudo.
Yeah, you'd have like
Okay.
they'd say it's just beef or whatever, and there'd be some pieces of beef, but then there'd be other pieces of like stomach, intestine, maybe bladder, I don't know,
Beak.
just like whatever.
Yeah. Weird. Okay. How'd you feel about that? Were you like, did it roll off your back, or were you like, this is going to be a long 18 months?
Well, I think I just had really low expectations of everything going into my mission, like thinking
That's good.
like the food would
That's how
be
you do
so gross.
Yeah.
It'd be just so dirty. I wouldn't really like being in Chile or in Mexico, but actually
That's so
like getting
funny.
there, I was like, wow, this is so much better than what I thought. So
What were, and forgive my ignorance, is Chile, I don't know, on the scale of like wealth wise, like did you have toilets, apartments, sinks, running
Yeah.
water?
So Chile's the richest country in South America.
Oh, good.
So like going
More
there,
than Argentina?
yes.
Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, so they have like technology, I guess. They don't have like
It's like
They-
Wakanda.
I mean, they wouldn't send David Archuleta there.
No.
it's true.
Okay.
But no, we had like apartments, obviously.
Okay.
We had
Well, I guess not. Obviously, I didn't know.
Oh yeah, I guess not obviously.
I'm an idiot though, so I don't count.
But we had like washing machines,
So you had
stoves.
all the you had
It's
all
a-
the
it's
amenities.
It's a first world country.
First world.
It's like first world for South America.
It's like first and a half, 1.5 world.
Isn't that more?
Yeah.
All right, now.
It'd be like
No, the higher you go, it gets worse.
Oh, yeah, true.
0.75 world?
It's hard to explain because it's like
It's a
coming back
zero
to
world.
Canada. It's nothing like Canada at all.
Okay.
You got to paint us a picture.
What were the differences?
So there, where I was in Chile is like the richest part of Chile as well. There's a lot of money because there's copper mines there.
Okay.
And so,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Did they put the sisters in the richer parts because it was safer?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my first area, it was like kind of, it wasn't the safest part, but it wasn't the most dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's like a mountain, right?
Yeah.
Chile's really thin. So you're on the coast, but you're also in the mountains.
Yeah.
And the higher up you get, the poorer it gets, the more poor it gets.
Right.
And so people kind of just, like immigrants or even Chileans, they just grab land
Mm-hmm.
and they don't own the land, but they'll just build like wooden shacks on the land.
Yeah.
So it's like dirt floors,
Mm.
just very poor quality. And so the higher up you get, there's more of these, and they're called tomas.
Okay.
And so we were up there a lot, but then there was other tomas where the elders were, and people would get like stabbed in the street.
Ooh.
Are these like favelas?
I don't know what that
What's
means.
that?
Favela
Is that a
in Brazil,
Oh,
What is it?
like the slums?
the slums,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
where
like
they
the
build
slums.
little shacks up in the hills.
I had a guess,
Yeah.
but I was like, I better let you just say what it is before.
Yeah, it's
It's where
exactly like that.
it's where Carl Pino saw someone get shot
Right.
in the favelas of Brazil.
The economics professor who used to be a Mormon that we both shared. Fun fact.
But not. They call him something different. Tomas.
Tomas?
Yeah, Thomas.
Hmm.
Okay.
But in Brazil, they don't speak Spanish. Just saying.
Right. Portuguese?
Yep.
Right. So you were in the safe Tomas.
Yeah, the safer Thomas.
Safe-ish.
So I didn't see anybody get killed on my mission, but up there was like a lot more crime,
Yeah.
a lot more drinking.
Did you see people get hurt?
Like probably, but I don't really
Nothing
remember.
noteworthy, I guess.
Yeah, like one time my companion and I, we weren't even up there yet. We were on our way and we we're on like a sketchier side of our area.
Yeah.
And we were looking for this one street and we both stopped and we were just like looking around. And then all of a sudden we saw this guy run past us and two guys running past us. And then this other guy on the other side of the street was running after them with a gun. And he saw us and he just like
Whoa.
stopped in his tracks and turned around. So we saved their lives.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And my companion was like, you cannot tell your mom about this.
Whoa, well, she's going to know now.
Yeah.
What if
she
you
listens to this.
prevented him from killing people that deserved it?
Yeah.
Well,
Now we're getting into philosophy, I guess. Lyndon's philosophy corner. What kind of gun was it? Big gun? Little gun?
no, it was like
Handgun?
a handgun. Like a, yeah.
Pistol?
Yeah. That one.
Pistolero.
Got your gun nut over here. We were anyway. So that's pretty crazy. Is that the only time that happened, or did you see other guns or knives? Or
Yeah. There were other times as well.
How many times? How often was this?
Once again, I don't know how many times, but there were like more than once. There was one time we were teaching a lesson and we were in this girl's room and there's like a knock on the door and like a bunch of SWAT guys came in, all like dressed up with their shields and everything, huge guns. And then we just like heard screaming and like banging against the wall, and then her brother-in-law got escorted out because he was like this huge drug dealer.
Whoa.
And we like invited him to church and everything.
Escobar.
And we were like teaching him, and we also helped him break into what he told us was his own house. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure.
You were an accomplice to
Yeah, but
a drug crime.
Maybe it was
Once
one of his
again-
drop houses.
maybe it
was
could have
it.
been. Yeah,
Maybe.
it was crazy.
That is pretty crazy. I get this feeling that you were just like sort of actively putting a filter between yourself and the danger that was around you.
I think so, because
You're
now
just
that
like,
I'm looking back, sometimes I'm like, what the? That's not.
like I should have been
normal.
more
Yeah.
nervous about that situation.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. I don't want to incriminate you here, but you helped him break into a house.
Okay, so this is what happened. Once again, we're in the Tomas.
Yeah.
We were walking along and we see this guy and we were teaching him. And he wanted to get baptized. He came to church one time and he was like sitting outside of this house, like really upset. I think he was crying even. And we're like, hey, like, what's up? Are you okay? And he's like, I need to get into, this is my house. I need to get in.
Yeah.
It's locked. I forgot my key. I need to get in like right now. Like, and we're like, well, why don't you phone your wife? And he's like, she's at work. I can't phone her, but I need to get in. And we're like, well, there's like this huge gate or like, it was just like, what is that called? Like a wooden,
Fence, gate,
no, like a
door,
wooden board,
board.
like really tall wooden boards that was just all around the house as like the fence.
Okay.
And we're like, well, we could probably like
Boost you
boost you up. And he's
Okay.
like, okay, yeah, sure.
up. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. So he did that. He got in. He like unlocked the door and he's like, okay, thanks, sisters. And he just closed the door. And we're like, okay, bye.
And you're like, how about a prayer, buddy?
Yeah, we're like, see you at church.
How about a prayer and a principle?
How about a prayer and a principle? We got to get something for ourselves out of this, all right?
But yeah,
Oh my gosh, interesting.
So you never taught him a lesson in that house?
never.
So, but you
Because
did
he was
teach him, though.
living, yeah, but we thought he was living at his mother-in-law's house
Yeah.
where his sister-in-law got baptized.
Yeah.
And that's where we were also teaching, like, her and her friend when the SWAT team came in and took him away.
Wow.
And he was like, no, this is like my other house, my personal house. So that's why we were like, oh, okay. Like, why would he lie to us? But then, like, we helped him break into that house, his house, maybe. And then I think it was that same week that he got arrested.
Oh, so he did not get baptized.
He did not get baptized.
How often did you have to deal with that in terms of, because I remember that on the mission, that was like one of the questions, baptismal
Like a
questions,
crime?
is have you ever committed a crime or whatever?
Like more often than you would hope.
Yeah.
But usually by the time we were finished teaching them, we kind of knew if they had problems with the law.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time they were already like clean. They paid their time or whatever.
Yeah.
There was one time when we were teaching this lady and we went to her house and she like opened the door and her son went running out and he was like this huge drug dealer as well.
Oh.
And so she went like running after him. She's like, sisters, I'll be right back. Come visit me tomorrow. And we're like, okay. So we came back the next day and her son got so mad at her that he called the cops on her because apparently she didn't finish paying her time in a different city.
Oh.
He called the cops on her and the cops came and took her back to that city to finish her time in jail.
Oh, how
And
much
so-
time did she have left?
I had no, I don't know. I was
Years?
like I think it was a couple more months.
Did she break out of prison?
Yeah. And
And
we
it
were
was-
teaching her.
and it was just like, hey, get back here.
Yeah.
Hey, finish your time.
Yeah.
It's
her
not
son
like-
called her and like, what the heck?
It's not like, yeah, this is an
Snitches.
additional crime. It's just like, no, just come on back.
Come on back. You have to finish what you
Do
did.
your time. That's so crazy.
Yeah, but she was a good lady.
So you're making it sound like it's
Boy.
a first
the
world
Wild
country just full of criminals.
Once again, first world
Everyone
for
makes
South
their money.
America.
Australia.
Everyone makes their money
circa
off copper and cocaine.
Yeah.
Copper and coke.
Yeah, like actually, it's a huge drug area, my mission.
Oh,
but-
really?
Hmm.
I guess, no, Colombia was where Escobar was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is Chile? Is Chile the long skinny
It's the long,
one?
skinny
On
one.
the sort of east
On the west.
west coast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see any penguins while you were there?
No, that I was in the northern part of my mission, or of Chile.
Ah, shoot.
Too bad.
So
They got penguins in the south end of that
They got
country.
penguins?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Fun
Why
fact.
didn't you see any penguins?
You never even brought up penguins.
A penguin.
you know what, guys? I didn't choose my mission. The Lord did. So
The mission chose me.
the mission chose me.
Have you ever seen that video of Benedict Cumberbatch pronouncing penguin?
Oh, yeah.
No.
And it's like penguin. And he's like, the penguins are everywhere on this particular island. The penguin.
Yeah, I can't say
He's
it.
so cute. He's a stupid idiot. Can't even say penguin right, dummy. And nobody corrected him, and it got all the way to the air. And it aired on BBC or whatever. And
Then he got roasted.
he got roasted. Like in the recording booth, he's saying penguin, and nobody's like, oh, I guess he's saying it right. I guess I've been saying it wrong all these years. I don't know. So anyway, you didn't see a penguin, and that's too bad. Tell me about the food situation. Is it good food?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Chileans love hot dogs, so
Hot dogs.
yeah.
What?
Then call me a
So-
Chilean.
I'm a Chilean.
No, but
Through
they'd
and
eat like
through.
rice with hot dogs. Like they try to make fried rice.
Chopped up or like
yeah,
like,
chopped up. Or you
like the wieners themselves. Okay.
I retract my statement then.
You're not a
Yeah.
Chilean.
or what else? Like mashed potatoes with just like a hot dog on it.
So
And-
not the actual bun, not like
no, they'd eat
They would
like,
have
hot
the
dogs
bun.
with the bun, but they'd have avocado, tomato, and
Okay.
mayonnaise on it. So good.
would they like just hollow? I guess I was gonna say hollow out an avocado, but avocados famously have big centers to them. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no, they don't, or do they? What am I
Wait.
thinking of right now?
Avocados have like
They
that.
have a pit, right?
Yeah.
Avocados are what you can turn it into guacamole. You can slice it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm thinking of the right
It
thing.
could easily go into a hot dog.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
like guacamole.
Guacamole. I was thinking
Like
of like
mashed up on it.
check this out. Here's $1 million idea. Starting a food truck. Avocado as the bun.
Just two halves of an avocado.
Hot,
Top of that.
hot dog. Avocado. Yum. That's what it's called. Hot dog, avocado, yum. Coming your way this fall. It's already the fall. Okay. So they eat a lot of hot dogs. I did not expect that.
Yeah, and chicken. Like
And chicken.
tons of chicken.
Why hot dogs?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I think it's cheap. That's why.
Okay.
And that's why they like a lot of chicken as well, because it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So I eat chicken, I think, every day with rice and potatoes, and they just put salt and pepper on it.
That
so
sounds good, to be honest.
yeah, it's good for like the first month. And then after 18 months, like seriously,
You're
by
like-
the end of my mission, they'd give me chicken. I'd have like gagging reflex.
Right. You're like, do you got anything else?
I know, yeah.
But don't they put like little chili pepper sauce on there?
No, they
spice it
don't.
up.
No, they don't use a lot of spices, only salt and pepper.
They don't use spices.
Nope.
I thought all South American countries,
We're just spice
Just
flavor
broad.
center.
generalization here, but I guess I was wrong. They like freaking hot dogs.
Yeah.
Like bland
Boiled
chicken.
hot dogs.
Boiled hot dogs, not even barbecued.
Oh, they do boil it.
Yeah.
That was a joke. I was
Nope.
joking.
Just
Oh
boiled
boy.
hot dogs.
Remind me never to go to a Chilean restaurant.
They do have really good food, but there's just like there's restaurant food.
Right, and then
And
there's what
there's-
everybody eats.
Yeah, then there's like the house
Yeah.
food.
I guess that's not fair because not everybody in the I mean, like, what the average person of any particular country eats is not indicative of the best food of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
country.
Chilean
Other-
food's really good.
Okay.
You just have to know what to get.
What do you get? What's the food to get?
So there's like a Chilean salad, and it's just onions, tomatoes, and like lemon juice and cilantro sometimes. And it's actually really good. I hated tomatoes and onions before my mission, but it's really good.
It sounds like a vegetable lover's dream.
It sounds like pico de gallo, basically.
Yeah, sounds
But
like
it's not like
salsa.
cut up in cubes or whatever.
Just
It's
whole
like sliced.
onion.
Yeah, it's like slices.
Just an onion,
Like a ring.
tomato, and
Yeah.
a lemon.
Yeah.
And some cilantro.
Cilantro. Do they have tacos there?
No, that's Mexico.
Okay, then.
We're trying to get educated here.
I don't know anything. I'm a dummy. All right, so the food's okay, I guess. Tell me about your companions. How many companions did you have?
I had 7 companions, and 6 of them were from Utah.
Oof.
All from different parts of Utah, though.
Right.
So
But what was the 7th one? Where were they from?
she was from Peru.
Okay. Did you have to speak Spanish with her all the time?
Yeah. I spoke Spanish with all my
All the
companions,
time?
like all the time, yeah.
How quick was it before you had learned the language?
I think it took me around 3 months to feel comfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
pretty
I was
good.
completely immersed,
Yeah.
you know, so it's different than going like stateside Spanish
Right, yeah.
speaking.
I heard 9 months from the people in my mission who are Spanish speaking.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot longer.
Yeah. But so when did you start? When did the immersion process start? Like what? Like was your mission president?
He's Chilean.
And
so
was
right
he
from the
speaking
beginning.
Spanish
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah, like I got there and I was the only English speaking sister.
Oh wow.
And so like I had no idea what was going on. My mission president gave me my like what is it called? Like a welcome interview.
Yeah.
And it was all in Spanish and I had no idea what he was
And you're
saying.
like,
I was like,
yeah.
sí,
Sí.
gracias.
Gracias. Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias, senor. And a good day to you too. Thank you, sir. Por favor.
Exactly like that. Wow.
It's like, wow, how long have you been speaking Spanish? It's like, did you actually learn Spanish? You're like, I was comfortable around 2 weeks. You're just like, hola. Yeah. Hi.
Hola.
Hola. Yeah. Okay. Hot dogs again. All right. You're like, I didn't learn Spanish at all.
Wait, what do they call hot dogs in Spanish?
Oh, wait, let me try. Okay, here we go. I think I know this. Hot. What's hot? What's dog?
Or they're like,
I don't know anything.
caliente perro.
Right. Shoot. That's what I was trying to say.
But it would be like reverse. It'd be pero caliente.
Is that actually what it is?
A perro
No.
caliente?
No, that's like an actual literal hot dog.
Right.
But like a food hot dog. In Chile, they're called completos.
Completos.
Yeah.
What's that translate to?
A hot dog?
Those
I
wieners?
don't know. No, but the wiener
The
is...
sausage?
No, it's like the hot dog.
What's a sausage in Spanish?
So there's like a couple different words. So like a hot dog wiener is salchicha.
Salchicha.
Salchicha?
So what, salchicha, but what's a completo then?
Completo is like
Completo.
with the bun.
With the bun.
With like the
That's so interesting.
wiener.
What's a hot dog bun called?
Pan? Pan de completos?
El hot dog bun. See? Okay, where were we? Before
We were talking about companions.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you had one Peruvian.
A Peruvian.
What
She was my second companion.
did your Peruvian
interesting.
companion have opinions about Chile?
Yes.
What's Peru like? Is it more rich? What's like...
It's very poor.
okay. What's the hierarchy of richness amongst the South American...
So-
or Central...
It's South America.
South America? Okay. What does Central America consist of?
That's
Mexico.
Well, Mexico's technically part of
Guatemala,
North. You're right. Yeah.
So Central is like Guatemala,
Nicaragua,
It's like one country.
Panama.
Honduras,
Oh.
several
Panama,
countries.
yeah.
Honduras.
It's like all those like little ones, you know?
You've proven me wrong instantly.
there's only like one country.
There's one country. America.
You gotta. I'm gonna buy you a world map for Christmas.
Yeah. Why do I need that when I have you?
You're right.
True.
You're right.
You're right.
Um,
So you're a Peruvian companion.
Yeah.
Was
so,
she like, this is a dream to go to Chile?
No.
she hated it.
No.
She
I think
was
she liked
indifferent
it.
about it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So Chileans are very prideful, and they have beef with.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Like I love them.
Call it patriotism.
Sure.
Yes.
Pridefulness is such a bad term
No, but even
for
if
missionaries.
even if you ask like Chileans, they're like, yeah, we're prideful.
Yeah.
So
They're proud of their pride.
yeah.
Right.
So Chile has beef with Peru, Bolivia, and Argentina.
What's beef in Spanish? Beautiful.
Do you mean like
Beefo.
the meat?
Or like
Or like
go with
fighting?
the
the
meat.
rivalry.
Like
Let's
tension?
go with
I
both.
have to think about that now. Like beef would be like carne.
Carne.
Carne, yeah.
Chile has carne with Bolivia. My
Yeah.
uncle's from Bolivia. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I don't know how you would know that, but he is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My dad's sister married a nice Bolivian man named Maximo. And so, yeah, he likes soccer and mate and good guy.
Okay, yeah. Get into
Yeah, so they have like
Sorry.
beef with all these different countries because Chile stole land from Peru. Well, they didn't steal. They
Snap.
won land.
they
in a war.
annexed it.
Yeah, from like different parts of Peru and Bolivia and Argentina, I think.
Yeah.
And so the Peruvians sometimes, when they're in Chile, the Chileans kind of look down at them and they like let them know their place. And same with the Bolivians.
Yeah.
And so my companion, when she found out she's coming to Chile, she was like, frick.
Oh.
But when she got there, she like learned to love it.
Right.
Okay. Because I spent a lot of time in my first area. There was a woman from Argentina. Very proud to be from Argentina.
Oh my goodness, they are worse than the Chileans. with
And all
pride.
she talked about is how Argentina
It's
was
the
the
best
greatest country
country.
in
Yeah.
South America.
She wouldn't shut up about
Even
it.
like the missionaries.
And I believed her.
Yeah,
I
the
took
missionaries
her
in my mission that were
face
from
value.
Argentina would always say that too. They're like, we love Chile, but Argentina, let me
But
tell you.
Argentina- Why? What's
It's
so
the-
good about it?
Well, first off, this is their first point always.
Okay.
Have you seen their flag? Just look up, and it's the sky.
Oh,
Blue
it's just
sky
blue and the sun.
when the sun.
Oh, that's nice.
So
I like that. Yeah, that's a selling point for me for sure.
They have a nice flag.
Nice flag.
And then
An excellent men's national basketball team. Gold medalists.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
okay, no one talked about that. but-
2008.
In 2008 Olympics,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
won
really?
the
No
gold
way.
medal.
Not 2008. That was Beijing. The one
Oh.
before that.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
2004.
2004. That was
Athens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. It's weird that I knew that.
Yeah, I was too little to like remember it.
You were like a baby. You were like a newborn baby. weren't you?
Basically, I was like 7.
Close enough. Close enough to newborn. So Argentina is a really great country because of their flag
And
and
they're like meat. They always talk about their meat.
their carne.
Oh, they
Yeah.
love their beef.
They do.
You're
Like
this is
their
bringing back a
barbecues.
memory because I was like, oh, I'm from Alberta, and she wanted to like point out how Alberta is famous for its beef, but Argentina's is still somehow better.
No,
And they
not
said
true
they're
at all.
like we're
Oh
like
my
the
goodness.
Alberta of South America with our beef, and I was like, great.
Fair statement.
But the difference is their steaks are
And
like
your oil.
this thin, like very thin
Oh, yeah.
and very well done. So
Terrible.
Like a chip almost.
yeah,
Like a crispy chip, like the Dorito
like
of
it's good,
steaks.
but it's not steak. Like
not
Get out of
Alberta.
here with that,
It's
Argentina.
not like this big,
Yeah.
this thick.
Juicy
yeah.
ribeye
Juicy.
The
from a
size of
grass-fed,
both of your hands. Heart attacks galore.
eating that Alberta grass.
Alberta beef. Ooh-ah. Not a sponsor.
Alberta Beef Growers Association.
It's what's for lunch? Anyway, so we're talking a lot about Argentina
We're getting South America knowledge going on
as
here.
as a whole.
And then you had Utah companions.
The Utes.
Yep.
Why so many?
Good question.
And you spoke Spanish with all of them.
with all of them.
Not one time you're like, hey, can we talk in English for a second?
Well, we talk like sometimes, but rarely.
Huh.
Is that like a mission rule, or is it just practical?
It says in the White Bible that you're supposed to do that.
Oh.
And
like
usually
the white one that we all had?
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
No, I think it does. Yeah, I think
It does say
I
remember
guess
that.
it was easy for us to keep that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our mission language was the celestial language,
Yeah.
English.
English.
And we didn't want to speak to each other much anyway, so it was like,
I mostly hand gestured to my companion.
your turn. The only time we spoke was in lessons. And even then, it was like, the
See,
nod.
so what's up with the Utah companion? Isn't it that like a mission policy? Is they take like an international missionary, always pair him up with a local?
It's not.
Yeah, I
Is,
guess
is
it's
that was
not.
that not the case, or were you like special, where they're like, we can't
You were
leave
you were the
Sister
problem
Evans, we can't give her to the locals. The locals hate her. She has
No.
to be with Americans the whole time.
In my mission, I think there were more American sister missionaries than there were like Latina missionaries.
How come?
So, yeah, I just got put with a lot of them.
Had the surge not come to South America yet?
How many sisters were in your mission?
Probably around 60 or 70.
It's a lot.
Is that like
That's
a
so
is that like a
crazy.
50-50 split?
No, there was 182 missionaries in my mission.
It's a lot.
But my mission's like really big.
Actually, wait, was that a lot?
Well, we're pre-surge missionaries, so we're not used to that.
120? 130? I think
Yeah,
for my mission.
We're used to having like 120 missionaries in a mission, and that being a huge mission.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big
Now,
mission.
120 missionaries is like a little baby mission.
And the number of sisters, like 60 sisters, is nuts. I remember just like the 10 sisters in our mission. They would all sit on
all
the front
8
row.
of them.
Yeah. They would sit on the front row of transfer meeting.
But
or
you
zone
guys served
conference.
before the mission age was changed. for
Yeah, we
sisters.
did. Pre-surge. Yeah.
We reference that as the surge.
The surge. The surgeoning or whatever. Yeah. It was, it's crazy. It would be so interesting to see what is it actually like to serve a mission now? I really don't know. Plus, you guys can like,
We've got that firsthand account. It's like EFY for 2 years.
right? Yeah. Would you agree? Have you been to EFY?
I have.
Yeah. Is it like that?
Is it South American EFY for 18 months?
South American EFY.
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
What kind of service did you have to do, or do you know what I mean? Like, was there a lot of? I imagine there would be opportunities for service there.
Yeah.
There always is.
So my mission, we did serve, obviously, but we had a lot of success just contacting in the street all the time and just teaching lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So my mission president, based on what the Area 70 told us, is that we could only do service for half an hour in the morning,
Yeah.
and we had to like phone our mission president for permission.
Oh, interesting.
So like I think the only real service that I did that I could remember was like I helped this girl in a wheelchair paint her house for like half an hour, then we had
Really?
to leave.
For a half an hour.
Yeah.
I helped a guy paint his whole house once.
Yeah, and there was like
That
other
was a day. That was like a full.
yeah.
Full
So we had
thing.
to like try to get the members more involved with that.
Right. That makes sense.
And that
that's
was our
smart.
goal, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were just like always looking for new people to teach. And
That's so interesting.
yeah.
Because we were, my mission, there was less, it was a little more country depending on the area. And so you'd have to fill time. And so it was like, let's do some service. And it was nice if you had if you lived with members, then you could just sort of do yard work or something. Just sort of, that's your morning, but you guys were like,
it depends on the mission, because even in other missions in Chile, it's more service-based or retention-based,
Right.
but mine was more baptism-based.
why is that?
Because there's just a lot of people that wanted to get baptized.
So what about a mission where it's retention based? What's the purpose for that? What's the reason there?
So in Chile, there was this huge boom in the church. And 20 years ago, maybe more, missionaries, each companionship would have around 20 baptisms each week. And so if you go to southern Chile and you look at the ward membership list, there's 3,000 members. But then actually active, there's 20.
Wow. Okay.
So in the southern part of Chile, it's all reactivation and retention.
Yeah.
And so they're just trying to find them, bring them back to church, keep the members active, keep the members active in the right way instead of their way.
Right. Yeah.
And in my mission, for some reason, they didn't have that big boom. And Elder Holland, he said that the northern part of Chile, they're it's more wicked there. And they're
Is that where you
slower.
were?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're slower to remember God and to repent.
Right.
And that's why now they're finally starting to remember, while the other parts of Chile, they had already done that.
Right.
I was gonna say I think the northern part's just wealthier.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. And so, yeah, in my mission, there was that big boom still. So we were just working with new people and still with less actives, but not as much.
Right.
So in 10 years, the missionaries there will be looking at ward lists
Yeah,
of
that-
3,000 people.
All
I'm
the people
sure
you
they will be.
baptized.
It's kind of sad, actually, but
Did you experience that during your mission of people who got baptized and then fell away kind of while you were there?
yeah,
It happened.
it's sad, but it happens. And
Not
They'll
on
come
Lyndon's
back.
mission, I guess. Not to Lyndon.
Well, if we're gonna start stat bragging,
Okay.
the ATM
Uh-huh.
had the highest new convert to baptism ratio.
Yep.
And L. Tom Perry just came by and was just telling. Basically, what it was is we didn't make someone a new investigator unless they were going to get baptized.
oh man,
So everyone missions brag about we have 10,000 new investigators.
yeah.
But
it
ours,
was
it's
my mission.
If you got 3.76 new investigators, that equaled one baptism.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and ours was for every 10 new investigators, at least one of them will get baptized or something
That's
like that.
insane.
So we'd be finding 50 investigators a week.
Can you talk in the mic a little more?
Do you want me
You
to say
can
that
pull
again?
it down if you want. Oops. There you
Okay,
go.
there we go.
Yeah, that's perfect. So you're getting 50
New investigators.
per week.
Yeah.
And, okay. Can I ask how many baptisms did you get? Is that rude to ask? It's high, right? It's got to be it's got to be at least one a week, I'm thinking.
It wasn't okay. So my mission changed when I started. The goal was to baptize once a month, so that's what we were aiming for. And then towards the end, it was baptizing weekly.
Okay.
So I baptized. Well, I didn't baptize them. The
You
people that I taught that were converted by the Lord
and
that got baptized was over 30, which is not tons, but it's a good
over
number.
40?
No, it's over 30.
Between 30 and 40.
Between 30 and 40. I don't know the
Okay.
exact number.
Okay. That's less high than I was anticipating,
Yeah,
actually.
it's not like olden times in Chile,
Yeah.
whereas each missionary would have over 200.
Olden times,
The olden
the
20 years
90s.
ago.
like 2008.
But it is high for it. My mission was
I mean, it's a high number for sure.
yeah. My mission was the highest baptizing mission in our area.
Okay.
So that's I think it was like Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, and all of Chile.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Quick editorial.
Sure.
I think I went on record saying 3.76 new investigators.
Okay.
It was definitely 5.76.
Okay, let me just make a note of that and noted. 5.76 equals 1 in baptism. I don't know what that number was for us. I guess maybe it was like our key indicators.
Usually, like, you came up with like a mission formula.
Yeah. I forget what ours were, but we had like gold, silver, and bronze.
Yeah.
Standards.
It was like 614,951 was the Arizona Tempe mission formula.
Yeah.
So because I remember we rounded up to 6.
Right. I forget.
And I'm probably going to get that
was.
tattooed on me one day.
Just the combination.
614,951.
You already have it, don't you? And you're just sort of like dipping your toe in the water about.
It's tattooed in my
revealing
mind.
680 is the number that's tattooed in my mind. That was the big mission goal that we were like going for. Our mission president was like 680, 680, 680, and we were
Baptisms.
like baptisms for a
For the
year.
year? Oh, yeah.
And we didn't make that goal, not in the calendar year. So that's when we changed the goal. He's like, just kidding, just a 12-month period. And so we pushed for an extra 3 months. He was actually going home soonish, so it was sort of a push to the end of his mission, and then we did get it. But
Sometimes you just got to move the goalpost.
sometimes you gotta just change the goal initially. So that's the number. So whenever I see 680, I'm like, President Matthewsek, and I shed a tear. What other questions do you have about? There's so much more to talk about, because like.
Well, what was the zaniest thing your companions ever did? Companions.
Did you get along with them?
I did for the most part. There was like a couple things, that each companion could do that kind of ticked me off.
Yeah, it's probably too fresh. You can't just like rat people out.
Yeah, what if they're listening? What if they're listening?
I haven't talked to these people in like 15 years, so it's
Yeah.
fine for us.
Right. Yeah.
Just because she's probably not listening, my Peruvian companion was the hardest.
Yeah.
Like, I got along with all my companions, even her. But what was hard with her was it was right after my trainer. My trainer was really strict, so I just kind of grew up in the mission thinking that's how it was.
Mm-hmm.
And this companion was kind of a loose cannon.
Yeah.
And my mission president put me with her for that reason, to kind of like balance both of us out.
Uh-huh. Oh.
So that I wouldn't be so like a stick up my butt.
Oh, were you that kind of missionary?
Yes. Just because my trainer like taught me to be
What were you anal about? Were you the rules?
Yeah, just
teaching,
like everything,
planning,
like all of it.
all
Like
of it.
very strict to the rules, like obedience to almost.
A fault.
Yeah.
Okay. How so? Do you have like an example of that?
Like, there are examples. I just can't remember them.
Like here, give you some story. Say you spent your morning just eating pineapple pie at a member's house.
Oh yeah, that we like couldn't do at all.
Oh, I love
that.
I forgot your mission.
Like my first
We
companion.
haven't talked about it in a while.
My trainer, we didn't ever visit like members, or if we did, it'd be like for 5 minutes, and
Wow.
we'd be in lessons for 10, 15 minutes, and we'd just like have to leave right away. And this other companion was like wanting to go hang out with members. We'd go hang out with like investigators, and she just like want to chill out and hang out with them. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so disobedient. We can't do this. Or like, she'd be like, yeah, we have time to go buy something to eat or do this. And I was like, no, we don't. No, we can't. We can't do that. We have to work. And my mission president was like, kind of like, okay, like Sister Evans.
Hey, chill out, sister.
Yeah, exactly like that. Like he told me,
He's like, here you go.
Got a nice Chihuahuan accent.
Chihuahua. I'm so sorry.
My trainer was very like one way, and then this other companion was a complete.
Just total opposite. Disobedient.
Yeah, exactly. And so my
Yeah.
mission president told me that he put me with her even though I was suffering in a good way.
It'll balance you both out.
Yeah, like he put me with her so that I kind of found my own way to be a missionary instead of the way of my trainer.
Yeah.
And so even though it was really hard to be with her sometimes, because she's a really good person, just maybe not the best missionary.
Right.
But it was also because she was like trunky, even though she had like 6 months left. But
It's a third of her mission.
yeah.
It's close enough to the end for her.
Like I am grateful that I did have that chance to be with her, because I did learn a lot, even though she's nuts.
So there's a mission president that understands about having a breaker.
Yeah. The importance of a breaker.
Yeah.
And then he just put you with strict Americans the rest of the mission.
No. Like right after her, I trained, and then I was with this other missionary who was a little bit of a loose cannon. That my mission president liked to put me with fixer-uppers in his own terms.
Right.
And so then I was like with this kind of more.
You were like a missionary flipper.
Yeah.
You'd get the fixer-upper, then you'd flip it for a prophet.
Yeah, exactly.
For the prophet.
Spiritual prophet.
President Nelson. Wait, who was the prophet when you were serving?
President Monson.
President
And then
Monson,
President Nelson.
President Monson smiled with each missionary you flip, so thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
He's smiling in heaven now.
But yeah, it was each companion I learned a lot from.
That's a very political answer.
Thank
Good
you.
for you. So how were you the rest of your mission? Did you mellow out, or were you?
How loose was your cannon?
Yeah.
Firmly attached, aimed at the target.
Well, with the girl that I trained right after this like Peruvian crazy companion, we just became best friends, and we had 3 transfers together, and she actually came home today.
Oh.
So
welcome
that's exciting.
home.
Yeah, shout out
Sister
Anderson. So with her, we just became best friends like instantly, and with each other we kind of learned how to work hard, be obedient, but also have fun while doing it. And I really learned how to love the work when I was with her.
Yeah.
So, and because of that, we did have a lot more success, and like all the sisters in our zone just got along better because like her and I were happy, and I was the sister training leader, so it was just like
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you were in charge of anybody.
Yes.
Sister AP.
Is that what that is? Is that the highest leadership?
Yeah, but we didn't have that in my mission. Like APs, sister APs.
Oh, okay. Are those a thing now?
In some missions
Oh,
there.
that's cool.
Like in
I
Brazil,
love
they
it.
have sister assistants.
Oh, sister assistants.
Yeah.
Assistants.
Assistants.
I don't know. That's dope. So how did you like leadership? Did you enjoy it? Did it fit you? Did it feel good on
Yeah.
the mantle? Did you abuse your power at all?
No.
In any way?
No, I think it was good because it kind of gave me responsibility maybe that I needed to kind of keep me going, to keep me in line.
Right.
There was one time where there was just like a lot of problems among the sisters. One was a sister from Argentina and one was a sister from Peru, and Argentina and Peru, they like hate each other.
Oh, why?
Just because the Argentinians, they think they're like so much better than the Peruvians.
Oh.
And so that was like this companionship. So they're just like clashing
Just-
all the time.
Just real quick. Which countries in South America get along?
Lyndon's got a fantasy league football thing going. This is for him.
Like, you're just like, we're talking about all the beefs in South America.
It's true. I
Do
honestly
any of them
don't
get
know.
along?
No, I
Is
don't
it
know.
is
I
like
don't think
Bolivia and Brazil? Are they like cool?
so. No.
No.
I feel like it's even inter-country they like don't get along.
Yeah, like honestly.
Like Alberta,
Peruvians hate
Quebec.
Peruvians.
Peruvians hating Peruvians.
They're like, Peru used to be so
Bolivians.
great until the Peruvians ruined it.
No, but it's like actually true. So it happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like there's beef in Chile as well. So
Oh, I love beef and chili. Little joke there. Little food joke.
So you had to settle a dispute.
oh yeah.
Geopolitics were involved.
Yeah.
Like this was going on for 2 transfers, and it was getting just so out of hand where they wouldn't listen to me, they wouldn't listen to the zone leaders, and they were just fighting all the time. And so I phoned my mission president, and he was like, "Okay, Sister Evans, you just got to yell at them." And I was like, "What? I can't do that." And he's like, "Listen, you're gonna have to play the bad parent at like eventually, so you
Right.
might as well learn now." And so I was like,
Oh, you mean
"Okay."
like later in life?
Yeah,
when
later
you
in
have
life,
children.
later in life,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And so then I just had to kind of snap at them one day and just yell at them.
I
And
thought you meant you snapped their arm or something.
no.
Like I broke an arm. That taught them all.
Snap their wrist in half.
And I walked away. I didn't even say anything.
They got the message.
I just walked up, gave them a spiral fracture, and walked away.
Left a horse head in their bed.
That's right. Burned their crops and left. So what did you do? You yelled at them.
Yeah, I had to yell at them and tell them that, like, it was more this sister from Argentina that was the problem, because even the members were coming out to me and being like, okay, like, what's her problem? Like, she obviously doesn't want to be here. Like, she's so moody. And that's when I phoned my mission president, because I was like, even the members are noticing. He's like, you just got to tell her. You got to be honest at this point.
Yeah.
And so she got mad at me for something, and I was like, okay, here's my chance. I was like pumping myself up, and she walks through the door and she's just like, Sister Evans. And I was like, what? And she was like, she's like, you knew that I didn't like this. And I was like, okay, let's go. I was like, yeah. I was like, what else? And then I was like, okay, my turn. I'm like, let me tell you. And we like went off, and she was just quiet after I like gave my little spiel. I don't even know.
So what did you?
Does it sound like extra passionate in Spanish?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just,
Yo voy a matar.
Yeah. Wow.
were you just like, plato o plomo?
What's that? Something or something.
Silver or lead?
Oh, okay. Good.
Escobar.
Did you say yo reino con un puño de hierro?
No.
I think that means I reign with an iron
fist. Yeah. No, I didn't say that.
I had when I was an assistant, I was with a Spanish speaking missionary. Was my first companion in that, and so he taught me that, and I was like, good, because he was gonna leave, and I think bueno, and an English speaking missionary was gonna come, so I was like, I need to keep these Spanish missionaries in line. They all spoke English, but I was like, I need to know their language, speak to them. We've been doing this for an hour and 16.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, time's been
breezing along.
flying by. Do you have any other, like, if you could share, I don't know, one or even two, stories from your mission that you're just like sort of the big highlight stories? Do you have one, or did we cover it, or?
And we'll just edit it later and make it.
Yeah. We'll make it about sexual abuse, of course.
No, I just remember, like, there's obviously a lot of stories, and kind of speaking of a more spiritual experience, we were teaching this one family. This was my first area, and I met them my second day being out, so I didn't understand Spanish at all. And he was a member and active, and he was living with his girlfriend who wasn't a member, and she was very Catholic, and she didn't want anything to do with us. But we'd pass by every couple of days, and we'd like just read a scripture with her, like a verse, and then leave. And by the end of my fourth transfer there, she just completely changed, and she wanted to get baptized. She stood up for the church when people would like say stuff about the church, and she was just so converted. And my trainer was ending her mission at that time, and I started my area in like where the main city, where the office is. Mm-hmm. And so right before I was transferred, my trainer came back, and we were able to spend one day together, and we went to go visit this family. And when she saw us, she was just so surprised, and she was like crying, and she was just talking about how like the missionaries in their lives have been angels, like not just us, but like all of them, because they have helped them realize their true potential here on earth. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of like a big turning point for me, because I was still new in my mission. I only had 6 months, and it was just like, okay, this is why I'm here. Like, this is why I'm here in this part of Chile, the ugliest part in the world probably, but like I'm here for these people, because I know that I could touch them in a way that maybe other missionaries can't.
Yeah.
So that was something special.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. That's special. I'm glad that you shared that. I feel like we always forget to talk about like the spiritual aspect of a mission. So thanks for bringing it back to that.
We always need a healthy dose of that every now and then.
A healthy shot of spirit. Taylor, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
We really appreciate it. You've been an excellent guest. You're a good guest. It's not difficult to I don't know. There's something about being on a podcast. There's like
Yeah.
there's
I did notice
a give and a
that.
take and a flow.
That you immediately were just right into podcast mode.
Yeah, you're good at. Yeah, you're just sort of like jumped in. So good job. Well done.
Thank you.
Lyndon,
Yes.
let's just pretend it's just you and me for another hour. You're like, I gotta go. I'm like, we'll get to you in a second. I don't know, Lyndon. What's going on? What else?
I think we just got to stay true and faithful.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye, everybody.
Should we end with a prayer?
Let's
Just kidding.
end with a prayer. Bye-bye.